really bad vibes. Here's where it gets thick. Toe and heel.
We should be expecting something.
Out of the corner of my eye, I saw the limbs start to move, or they crossed right there at that tree. What was trying to block the road?
Human-like in a way, as far as eating meats and berries.
Kind of packed down through this area right here. This might get a little steeper down to the creek.
Scratches on it.
Yeah, it could be a bear marker.
Probably find gold in here.
So I always expect to see a cougar.
Looking over there and just seeing Bigfoot.
I do find it strange just how quiet it is. We come in peace. We come in peace. Hi friends. So today I am headed back to a spot we found last year that we named Creepy Ville. This place gave us some really bad vibes. Nana was really struggling, like her legs were kind of locking up, just felt weak. There definitely felt like there was a strong presence here. We stayed away from it all the rest of last year. So it's spring now, and I've got a buddy that been talking to him. He was willing to come out here with me and check this area out. So we are just about ready to get out of the vehicles, and I'll introduce you to him. And oh my goodness, check this out. So we often say roads are blocked, access is blocked to squatchy areas. This tree, there were several down on the way up, but were already cut out. This one is still blocking the road. And right there is where we were gonna park. So we'll park on this side of the log and get this, and we'll get this adventure started. All right.
I guarantee anybody that's just out here, they're gonna overlook that.
Perfect. All right, stump camera set up. Yeah, their focus would be on all this.
Yeah.
If we found a really good footprint, I have casting stuff.
Okay.
If we did find a really good footprint or impression or something that we wanted to cast. So do that. All right guys, so we're here. We're pretty well set up to start walking in and do our investigation. And so we got Jesse with us today.
Howdy everybody.
All right, well, let's get this thing started.
Let's go.
All right. Alright guys, we're just starting in on this road for this investigation, and the camera just turned off on its own and then said file repaired. So we're already experiencing something with our electronics. And it does look like we've got deer, moose. Oh, those ones are more oblong, so maybe elk?
And we got both.
Yeah, we might.
Because those are completely two different droppings.
Yeah, one's oblonged, one's more circular. So I think we might have elk and moose using this road.
Something's been digging at this here.
Okay. Yeah, maybe a bear or coyote was kind of working on something. Looks like maybe last fall.
Yeah, looks like kind of burrows in there.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yep. Gave up for some reason. It's not fresh.
No.
Okay, well, good catch. And as you guys can see, lots and lots of down trees. This road has been blocked a bunch and cut back out. Look over the edge a little bit. So across the valley from us, there are a lot of rock ledges down to the creek bottom. So that's seems pretty interesting. Possibility of a cave or something along those lines. So that's
at least some sort of den or
yeah, possibility exists. Okay, so far I'm not feeling creeped out.
no, I'm feeling pretty good right now.
This is about as far as we made it last year. Maybe 20 more yards.
Okay.
And it felt very dark, very creepy.
I have to say, as far as area and surroundings, this looks like a great spot to come across something, hear something.
I don't know. I was feeling fine back there. And my legs feel shaky. And feels like
Has a little bit different energy.
Yeah.
And it's hard to say if it's just because it got dense, or did we just come across something that's more
this is
of that?
weird. This is
Like,
really,
you don't belong here.
yeah.
It definitely has a lot different energy than where we just were.
No, you guys, I got the heebie-jeebies. I don't know why.
Sometimes you gotta listen to your gut.
Yeah. I mean, it could be absolutely nothing, but do you notice how quiet it is?
No squirrels, no birds.
Okay,
And then
there's...
we hear a bird. That sounds really high.
That was odd to say that and then...
Have one bird start squawking.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Okay,
This just feels eerie to me.
I'm not going to take the time to cut the road out. I'll just back up.
I don't know, you guys. This does not feel like light forest. There's something that doesn't feel pleasant. I'm not smelling anything. I'm not hearing anything. I'm feeling a little bit creeped out right now.
Okay, I just heard almost like owl, kind of echoey, not echoey, but like it repeated back there. And it didn't sound like an owl, but that's the closest sound I can come to. I don't know how to repeat it, but there was like 3 or 4 little repeated sounds that kind of seemed owl based.
My legs still feel like jelly and my
Okay.
body feels wonky.
Okay, well, we're gonna
I don't
get
know
out
if
of here.
you're
I
picking
just was-
anything up, but
I was just hoping to get a heat signature of something, but
didn't I just get through saying, oh, feels magical back here? And then, no joke, you guys, this does not feel magical. This feels eerie. There's something going on.
I think we found something to...
I have no idea what it is.
I'm trying to... I mean, we're talking a lot, but I'm trying to listen. I heard those owly... I don't know how to explain them, but kind of like hoots, but they're repetitive. It didn't sound like an owl.
We're like 10 minutes into this and the feeling has not changed.
No, it hasn't. It feels dark. It feels...
Yeah.
feels heavy.
It doesn't feel welcoming.
No. I can't find any heat signatures.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna see if I can get Pops to get me the heck out of here.
Good luck.
Yeah, I think we'll try our first tree knock up here and a whoop just to see if we wake anything up or get some attention. But yeah, not feeling creeped out yet. Here, I'm gonna pass this to you.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a knock on this tree, I think.
Not as loud as I would have liked.
Might be enough though from the, hey, what was that?
It might. Okay, I'll do a call from right here.
Deer tracks there.
Oh, there's an X. So we're always looking for structures. I mean, could be natural, but always just trying to see if there is a shape or
Okay.
something to a structure.
Okay.
So it looks like that could be a big X. It's always hard to tell though.
With those two trees that are crossed each other.
Yep.
You know, that's kind of, in a way, strange because one tree is this way, the other tree's this way.
Yeah, and if you're going to get constant winds, seems like more things would be one direction. But if we could get to the base of them, and you know, if we could determine if the best way to see is if something was moved. But that's not always the case. Oh boy, here's where it gets thick.
It gets real thick.
So there's some impressions, but thinking that's probably moose. It's just kind of rounded.
Yeah.
Probably getting around this debris just like us. Just moss. Just looking at these broken branches here, because there are a few that are broke, but if a moose or something jumped over this, what you got?
I was just looking, and like that's fairly fresh break. You'd think if moose, I mean, you can see there is some disturbance of things going over.
Yeah, maybe like a hoof catching the bark, because this one's broke. This one's broke, so there is, looks like something has gone through here. Okay, there's a break that looks pretty yellow.
Oh yeah.
Must have gone down the hill. Okay, possible moose track there. More stuff broke, little limbs broke here from something going through here. And then we do have the moose scat on the other side. Okay, I'm gonna turn this around, guys. So I was just stepping over this log. Pretty thin. It almost seems like that could be toe and heel. But it's very thin. But right where you step over this log, not sure.
Yeah.
But didn't see any detail to it really, just
Shape for
just
sure.
the shape. And there's an X up there above us. I don't know if that's the same one we saw earlier. Maybe.
No, I think that was quite a ways back there.
Yep. Yeah, that was to the left. So yeah, we got an X there on the other side there. And from this angle, we got an X up there on this tree line up there. I think I'm going to go under this stuff. Okay, kind of interesting. That's pretty big.
Yeah.
And that's completely snapped out of the way. And I don't see
The tip at all.
the tip.
Not even over the edge.
No.
That's kind of strange.
Yeah. And just moss is all I'm seeing on that. Quiet.
Very quiet.
I'm not hearing any birds,
Nothing.
chipmunks, squirrels, nothing.
It's silent.
Oh, say that, now I hear a distant bird. How you feeling? Sensing anything?
Not yet, I haven't.
No. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, as we get further and further back here, I'm feeling more and more like we're probably gonna hear something, or
Kind of like anxious,
Yeah.
maybe a little.
yeah,
Because I'd say I'd probably, I don't know, with it being so quiet and being this far where we can't just run out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a little bit of like that anxious feeling.
Yeah. I don't feel scared or anything, but I feel like
No.
we should be expecting something, or we're gonna hear something.
Okay. Well, if that changes, let me know. It's just good to pay attention to how we're feeling.
Oh yeah.
So if you got something going on, just let me know. I was thinking old coyote, a little bit bleached out.
Yeah. Possible maybe wolf, because those are out here as well.
Oh yes, yeah. Yep, so definitely could be a few of the different predators. Whew. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw the limbs start to move.
Oh.
And we just got hit with a gust of wind, guys, so whew. I'm going to do another wood knock on this tree here. So I know even this far back, people have tried to reopen this trail.
Yeah, they have.
But it sure doesn't stay open.
No.
Alright guys, just wanted to point out another X. We've got where they cross right there at that tree, right in the notch of that tree, and both come down from different angles. Hard to tell what's going on at the bases of them, but how weird that in the crotch of those two trees is where they cross each other.
Yeah, kind of a
Just
coincidence that they both cross right there.
Yeah.
At the same
Yeah, I mean,
tiny little opening.
yeah, if it's coincidence, seems like that's an awful lot of big coincidence.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That two trees 20 feet apart cross in that notch of those trees there. And I can't see the bases to see what's going on with them.
This one, it's not uprooted, it's like it just came over. You can see the base of it down here.
Okay, and then look at all this other debris over it. I mean, it's a lot of fresh pine needles and all this debris. Some fresh stuff that has come down. I think I can get under that. And then where something's gone over this, got another break that.
Pretty dang fresh.
Yeah, and it's dangling right here.
Yep, sure enough. Yeah, it looks like we got rabbit out here too.
Oh yeah, we got Kick cereal. It always reminds me of Kick cereal.
Yep.
The rabbit pellets. About color and size. What you noticing?
I'm looking at this last one that goes across the road. If you look at the butt of that, there's absolutely nothing below it, and almost looks like it was set on top of that.
Isn't that weird how things just seem placed sometimes?
Yeah, because I'm not seeing anywhere that it would have came from. You know, a snapped off one or...
Okay, so there is one here.
That's old though.
But-
This is still fresh with green on it.
Oh, yep, that is old and gray.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, and that does still have green.
yeah.
So what was trying to block the road? Possibility it was placed. Okay, this is starting to feel a little thicker with all the green.
Oh yeah.
Still feeling okay?
So far, so good.
All right, we'll keep moving forward. maybe an X up there. And I just wanted to point out that just saw an arched tree that's going back and forth a little bit through some trees. And then pinned down, we've got this horizontal one here going out and sits on top of it to like help hold it down in the arch. And then the tip has more. So 2 trees on that one arch holding this smaller side down. Oh, that might be an X. So, kind of have a X on one tree, a horizontal coming through that notch, and then the other, let's see, the left one's broke, the other one's bent up through these trees.
Definitely starting to go into some more covered and full area through here.
Yeah, this closes in pretty tight through here. A lot more greenery, a lot more cedar. Got some stuff going on up here. Almost looks like 2 logs each making an X up there. Oh, the bark is off of this one. Looks like something went up, maybe, or came down, I guess. I mean, seems like seems like a weird spot to get up through there, but yet there is this opening.
It almost looks like it came up here and then went that direction, which is kind of clear in a way.
Yeah, kind of would be the trail to take. Yeah, a lot more crisscross applesauce up there with trees. Okay, then maybe a trail down.
Yeah.
So I don't, who knows, I mean,
it's definitely been traveled. It doesn't look fresh, but...
Yep, I would agree with that. I think we're seeing snow down there.
I think so.
I think that's a patch of white.
I'm really surprised though that we haven't ran across any like foliage, whether it be fungus of some sort of mushroom or...
Yeah. No, I mean,
It's pretty bare.
yeah.
And I don't know, but I would like to think they're kind of human-like in a way, as far as eating meats and berries and
Mushrooms
and
yeah, I mean, seems like you'd eat what's available.
yeah.
But yeah, sure not seeing it.
And I know I had a friend come out here, not this road, but just down the road a little ways, and he was finding morel mushrooms left and right.
Already?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we were camping all weekend in creek bottoms and all this stuff like this, and never came across any.
Really?
At least not that jumped out at me.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed. I follow a couple pages on Facebook of that stuff, and people are posting them left and right, finding them about 2,000 to 2,500 feet.
Okay. So someone packed a gas can in here.
Yeah.
Now, that's like one of the fast styles.
Yeah.
The fast pours for like motorcycles. Huh.
I mean, it definitely doesn't look like it's going to travel with ATVs or motorbikes of any sort in quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, somebody in the past has taken the time to clear this. I mean, we're still finding chainsaw.
Yeah, that's not...
So, you know, maybe even if someone's trying to do an e-bike or motorcycle through here, but sure not seeing it on the road.
No.
Alright, got a bunch more debris here.
Yeah, this has definitely been trampled too.
Yeah, it has. Oh, just turned this around on us, but I got more stuff going on up here. Kind of have this X here right above our head. Another one up about another 20 feet past it. There's a fresh stump back through there that's
Oh yeah.
broke off. That looks pretty fresh. Going down the hill, kind of a 45-degree angle. This looks older. You can see how broke up that trail is to get around this debris. More rabbit.
But you can definitely tell that this is very well traveled.
Yeah, it is being used. This looked like that had been clawed down, but don't see any kind of
looks like the wood's missing from right there.
Yeah, it might be this piece that slid down from there. So something has climbed through here. I'm not sure what, but moved some of the wood.
Got some ferns out here.
Oh yeah.
There's a tree up here that's burned out in the middle of it.
Oh yeah.
Hollowed out.
Oh, how weird. Yeah, and you don't really see any other evidence of burn through here with the trees. So maybe a lightning strike?
That's a good possibility.
I think that's a cedar.
Yep, that is definitely a cedar. Really cool.
Yeah, maybe a lightning strike.
Yeah.
Oh, little bit of cross
And it's
travel.
kind of packed down through this area right here.
Yeah, it is. So what's using it or hiding there? Because yeah, if you look, it kind of twists through over to it. Oh, that seems strange. You want to turn the thermal on and just look at that, see if it'd be odd to pick up a heat signature in it, but we're here. Let's check.
No heat signature.
No heat, so it's all the same temp.
I'm going to take a picture of that just to...
Okay. Cool.
Either way, that's pretty cool, unique find.
Yeah, it is.
You don't see that stuff around here often.
No, I mean, they do a lot of burn, you know, they'll do fire control burnings, but with nothing else, no other trees
Nothing.
has black.
And it's just the inside of that.
Yeah. Huh. That is a little bit odd. More evidence of someone clearing this trail at some point. Yeah, there's another stump with a little bit of a hollow in it, but that looks natural. I don't see, doesn't look burned out on that one.
Very much more deteriorated.
Yeah. Alright, well, I think I'm going to do a battery change before we go around this corner. Alright, fresh battery. And we came to a corner. And it looks like this might get a little steeper down to the creek. So we're going to take a look. So we want to give ourselves plenty of time to get back to the vehicles. Okay, I can see the creek down there kind of by the white patch of snow.
Oh yeah, I see it out there.
So, which is the end of the road for us today anyway. Oh weird, another road or skidder. How weird, it's right above this one.
Yeah, and the weird thing is that here as steep as this drops down, it doesn't seem like it would be a logging road anymore at this point.
Well, I believe on the map this did have a Forest Service road number.
Okay.
On the older maps. It's not on the newer maps now.
Okay.
It got dropped from the newer maps.
Looks like we're coming in
But-
with some rock up here on the side.
Yeah, we got some more stuff going on up there. Oh, got another, what's that? Might be dead. I see another tree down there with like a, it's not burnt out. Actually looks all sappy. Like where it be kind of hollow, but maybe it's not.
That's a big
A bunch of bark. Oh, it's a larch? I was wondering.
It's a big larch.
Oh, okay. And look how a bunch of bark is stripped out, like it.
Yeah.
It's not hollow, but it's been stripped off.
I wonder, possibly deer maybe using it to shed antlers?
That could be. Yeah, something might be.
Looks like there's scratches on it.
Yeah, it could be a bear marker or deer.
Yeah.
Because back where we used to live, we had a really big pine tree that was ripped up to 6 feet high, and the bear were using that as like their territory marker. So yeah, it definitely could be a marker of sorts. Yeah, look at it. It's
almost.
It looks pretty scratched up. It might be a bear territory marker. Because yeah, look at all the shreds on the ground.
Yeah, it's definitely something tearing it up.
You know what? I think we gotta watch out for hollow spots.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at right here.
Yeah, our curiosity's getting the best of us.
Definitely watch for hollow spots.
Wow. You're 6 foot, aren't you?
6'2".
6'2", reach up as high as you can. And there's still bark missing above that.
I hit 8 foot with my arms up.
Yeah. So lots of shredded debris around this. Is it just woodpecker maybe?
Maybe, but I don't know. At the same time, it looks like a lot of sideways.
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of what looks like could be woodpecker holes.
Yeah, I see what you're seeing, but like look down here where they're almost maybe where deer are.
Scratching it maybe?
Rubbing. Yeah, because it doesn't look like that under the bark.
Yeah, just lots of debris around the bottom of this tree. But for the most part, I'm seeing holes.
Yeah, I do see that. Whether it's bugs or...
Yeah, so it might be woodpeckers after bugs. Darn it, I thought we'd see claw marks, but I don't. Better look at the creek from here.
Yeah,
What you got? Try not to slide down. Oh yeah. So that would be curious if anything. You want to go for it?
Yeah.
Or you want to stick to the road?
We can stick to the road. It looks like the road goes down that way.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, let's go a little further.
I'm gonna be good for heading straight down this too, so.
That means then we gotta come straight back up.
Yeah.
So let's use the road a little further. Looks like we can side hill back to the road.
That's what I was thinking. Definitely very soft.
Yeah, a lot of soft and pine needles and stuff on here.
Don't want to move the tree panel.
Oh yeah, that road drops right down there near it.
Oh, it turns back
Okay.
this way.
Careful.
Don't worry, I will protect the FLIR. I'll go down and I'll hold this the whole time.
Thank you.
I'm one of those that doesn't know. This might hurt when I land, but I can get repaired cheaper than this. All these big rocks.
Yeah.
This whole hillside right here is nothing but rock.
Yeah, all that's moss-covered rock. But they managed to cut this road in right next to it.
Yeah. Well, thanks guys for your beer cans.
Oh, yeah, someone made it all the way here just to throw a beer can down.
I can't stand people that litter. Drives me nuts. And then they wonder why our woods get shut down.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I see why it's down here. Somebody drinking that Bud Light. They didn't want to get caught.
One of them Bud Light drinkers.
Yeah,
Man,
that definitely goes across there.
Just look at all the logs that are laying down through this. Crazy. Why are those ones stripped?
Yeah, I don't know.
Those look stripped.
Yeah, same with that one that's kind of diagonal and snapped off.
Yeah. Maybe it's cedar or has something. Maybe something was able to chew on the bark. Huh. Got more of that. Some eating away at the base of that one. Huh.
Yeah, the thing that I'm curious about, because even if this is high wind, you're in a valley right here. So how's the wind? I don't know. It's a lot of down trees.
Yeah. That is a bunch.
Seems a little more than normal.
You'd think, yeah, you would think a lot of the wind would be more mid or high of the mountaintops, not so much in the valley where the wind's going to be restricted by this many trees. And the other side looks a lot more open than this side. But maybe that had been logged more recently. I mean, who knows?
You can definitely tell that this has not been logged in a very, very long time.
No, there's some good sized trees in here.
Yeah.
So it's good that they're protecting the watershed.
Oh, we can cross this, it looks like almost.
Wow, look at all the tree debris in the creek.
Yeah. How much you want to bet? You'd probably find gold in here.
There's a chance. I know this, this county doesn't have a lot of, I want to say nuggets, but I can't think of the right word at the moment. I know what it is.
Pyrite?
Well, when it's flaky gold.
Oh.
So a lot of the gold in this county is really fine, like flour.
Yes.
And that's why they have to like mine it like so much a ton, like half a gram of gold to a ton, and you can't even see it because it's like flour. At least that was the case over at the mine in Republic. Pacer gold. It's I can't quite get the name right, but there is sand.
Yeah.
So there is a chance.
This
Okay,
looks
let's
like
this is soft sand. Let's look for any impressions.
footprint.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you would think this would be a pretty good spot for watering or...
Yeah, it'd be a great place to cross.
Yeah.
Not too swift.
No, not at all.
I mean,
shallow.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing any. Well, I'll leave one. So not super soft sand, but no other impressions in it though.
We'll see, I don't leave much. I'm 300 pounds.
Yeah, and that doesn't leave much. It's
No.
a smooth foot.
Yeah, that doesn't leave much at all. And if you get rain over the top of it, it's pretty much
It'd
just
be
going to
gone.
disappear.
Yeah, you can barely make out the heel. So yeah, I thought it would be more impressionable than that.
Yeah, I did too.
You got anything in the sand there?
Walmart water bottle.
Water bottle?
Yeah.
I thought I was seeing something disturbed, but no. Man.
So the water's gone down because it looks like the water came up to this point here.
Yeah, so it is coming down. Well, that just seems weird that we're not seeing anything cross real evidence of anything crossing this creek right here.
Does it look like a little disturbance on the other side
It
though?
does look like a moss disturbance over there, yeah. But how weird, maybe.
On the other side and stop.
Could be. But this was just freshly washed, with the water just going down. But not seeing anything but our impressions in the sand. Darn it. Guess we can make the trek back to the vehicles.
Definitely still keep an eye and ear out.
Yeah, we'll do a few more calls and wood knocks on the way out just to, now that it's getting a little later into the evening.
I was looking at that tree up there that kind of sticks straight out up there.
Oh, okay. And the other thing I was kind of thinking we might be able to find too is like antlers.
Yeah.
Sheds where they're walking these trails, foraging through the winter. But
here, fresh erosion here.
And somebody chainsaw, and they might have came in from this other road closer now. But long ways to get firewood if that's what they're after.
Yeah. And not a real good path to come down either.
No.
I don't know how the other side is, but
not much better. Be about the same. Hey, when we get back up to that top corner, do a few more
okay.
noisy things to see if we get a response yet.
Oh, is that a big rock bluff right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that was when we were over there at that tree. It was just past us. So yeah, a couple of these big rock bluffs. I'll turn the camera.
I didn't notice it.
Oh, okay. I was looking a little bit. Yeah, we got a big rock outcropping there. And then this one right here beside the road. So they were able to cut this road just right in here beside it. Every time I look up on a bluff like that or the rocks, I always expect to see a cougar.
Yeah.
But luckily it hasn't happened yet.
Not gonna lie, those, when we're up towards the beginning looking at those ones across the way,
Yeah.
I was like, man, I can sure picture looking over there and just seeing Bigfoot. Well, I really could.
Yeah.
That's kind of unique, them trees coming out of the center of that rock.
Yeah. Just, man. Yeah, look at that. Just where their roots go in, almost looks like it'd be a little cave or...
Yeah.
It's weird, the rocks, how they're shaped. Yeah. Man.
Yeah, and it looks like several different rocks almost stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, it kind of does have that layered look, huh?
Yeah, because you got, you know, this big one down here, and it's like, there's a break, another big one, a break. There's a little
Oh, there is a
hole there.
little hole there. I was looking above that, yeah.
Doesn't look like anything's been in or out of it though.
No, the moss doesn't look worn down. Just noticing that some of the dirt's falling off the top, but I don't see anything that's messing with it. Does look like this is where stuff's crossing over this, where it's like rubbed.
Oh yeah.
Well, it gains elevation pretty fast.
Very fast. Shoot, we're what, a couple 100 feet already?
Yep.
Above that?
Yeah. Alright, well, let me do a whoop from here.
Okay. I do find it strange just how quiet it is.
Isn't it?
It's
I mean,
super quiet.
chipmunks, squirrels, birds,
Yeah.
but every time I say that, there's usually a bird shortly thereafter. But
I've heard
it's-
a bird every once in a while, but it's in the far, far distance. It's nothing close by
no,
of any sort.
and not, you know, like a lot of times like a squirrel will kind of bark
Yeah.
if you're by it, you
Mhm.
know. We're not hearing any squirrels bark
Nothing.
at us or nothing else.
I mean, not even a stick snapping from the wind, no.
No, I mean it's quiet.
It's very quiet.
Doesn't seem right.
Older footprints through here of some sort. I noticed this one over here first. I'm assuming the moose just because of the size and the shape of it.
Yeah, kind of
And
in that
here.
Yeah, a little bit roundish.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
definitely heavy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that could have been a moose. There I heard like a bird or a little whistle.
Mm-hmm. How these trees arch across the road right here.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's, like, if you look at that, trees, you know, these ones kind of falling this way.
Yeah, they're
But then
bent.
these ones are coming back across this way.
Yeah. Almost looks like it's held down with this one.
Oh, it is.
Runs
Yep.
up.
Yeah.
It's
It
wedged
does look like
inside
it's-
of that.
Good catch. I wasn't seeing that it was like being held down.
Yeah. Almost like it was intentionally held down like that.
Yes, it is. And I missed that. Good catch.
But I mean, I don't know how these would come across like that and then this get wedged this way if it fell this way.
Some things are just strange, aren't they? I mean, some things look intentional.
Yeah. I would definitely have to agree with that. Come on, Squash, we need to hear you. We come in peace.
We come in peace. Go ahead and run the FLIR. A real dark spot in there. See if you get a heat signature at all.
Not seeing anything.
Okay, nothing standing out.
I'll take a picture real quick just in case.
Okay. Yeah, it just seems like a real dark spot in there.
You know, it's kind of unique. Just for the fact I don't know if you want to look through it.
Sure, I'll trade you.
But you almost can't even see anything because it's so yellow right there, like it's
just bled out, kinda.
yeah. And you would think that that would kind of be a cooler spot where you at least make out trees or
Yeah, because I can see totter above where the sun is shining. Come down to that spot.
and it almost just goes blur.
There's no temperature change in it.
No.
But you would think that, yeah, that would be colder, per se. I'm going to take a little video. I almost think I see just between like the purple and orange a little bit of movement. I'd almost swear I'm seeing a little movement in there. Okay, well, I took a 25-second video. That's weird. I don't see any limbs moving this way. But it's like I saw just a little, I don't know, you want to look again just to see if you stare at it a little bit? Just see if you see a little bit between purple and the orange. Just stare at it a little bit and just see if you see any movement. But could it just be the FLIR just trying to make sense of the temperatures too?
Yeah.
So, okay.
It's kind of unique because it's picking up purple on these trees, purple on this over here, but I can slightly make out that area.
Yeah, it's not real easy, but and then it's just like I saw just a little movement between orange and purple in that spot.
I think you're right, yeah.
But not like a true heat signature though.
No, but I think, yeah.
But the limbs have not moved, the branches have not moved.
Yeah, and I think I see what you're seeing there.
Huh. Okay, well.
That's cool though.
All right. Well, got to check it out. That one just caught my eye. That was when there's a dark mass like that. From here, it kind of looks like just a limb cluster.
Yeah.
But it's weird how black it looked from that particular angle.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to try one more call before we get out of here because we're almost back to our vehicles. Okay, twice now I thought I've heard something down here.
Okay, I'm not the only one hearing that?
You are not. I'm the only one saying it though. But you thought you heard like maybe a limb snap, something down there as well?
I didn't want to be that guy.
Okay. Well, now we're both that guy, but I spoke up.
Okay.
Alright.
I'll do better next time.
Well, let's go up a little bit more and do some more listening, because if we both heard that. Let me do a different sound, just see if we get a response. Something really dark, base of a tree, I don't know, 80, 90 yards out there.
I'll see what you're looking at there.
Give that a scan. Just seems really dark.
It's black.
Yeah. Weird place for there to be a shadow when everything else is kind of gray.
It almost looked like I was getting a little bit of movement in a way.
Okay, I'll do a little recording just in case there is. Yeah, I see what you're saying. And again, it's like yellow and purple. Flickering kind of in the center of this screen.
Yep.
Towards the black spot. So I don't know if the thermal's trying to figure out the temperature.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
But I am seeing oh shit, I swear it just moved.
See? Okay.
What?
That's what I thought. That's why I had you take a peek.
Holy shit. I swear it's moving. But yet it's a cold spot.
Almost like back and forth in a way.
Yeah. Up and down, kinda.
Yeah.
And back and forth. Okay. Well, okay, I got a 60-second clip. That's strange. So I don't know if this thing is trying to sense something. I mean, looking at it, I don't see movement.
Yeah.
But with this, I could see what looked like movement. Oh, that's weird. Let's see if we get another peek at it up here.
Yeah, almost like the movement of them trying to do what we were just doing and looking. Like,
yeah,
that.
like kinda
Yeah.
looking around the brush or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, it's still really dark in there. That whole spot. Let me try right here if I got an angle or not. It's hard to tell with the underbrush. That's weird. I'd swear there's movement, but it's cold movement.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right.
And it's so dark down there, which I find unique because you can see pretty much everything, you know, looking down through here.
Yeah.
And right there it just kind of goes black.
It does. I'm not seeing a better spot other than where we were to look in there.
Sounds like I'm hearing chipmunk now.
Yeah, saying the same thing. Finally hearing a chipmunk. Yep, finally hearing the chirp. Yeah, from here it's so brushy.
Yeah, you can't see anything down there.
Just black. How weird, we're finally hearing a chipmunk.
Yo, look where we're at.
Yeah, where we started. Alright guys, so I think that's the end of this investigation. We're back at the vehicles. Just dead quiet today. And other than these really dark spots, I mean, we thought maybe we heard some twigs snapping, but no answers as far as vocals or wood knocks. So gonna call it the end here. So if you would, please leave a thumbs up, please subscribe, and leave a happy comment. Thanks for watching, guys.